Peace to the family. Peace to the family. I got to work on a few things. Hope everybody is doing well on this Friday night. I got a great presentation. I got little technical errors, technical problems that I'm going to have to work around. But let me work on getting started. So welcome, everybody. And give me a few more seconds. So I can get started. Peace to the family, peace to the family. This is Brother Reggie, and welcome to Africa Online TV. Tonight, we're going to listen to a master class on Kemet by Dr. Obadele Kambon, one of our giants in our community. And unfortunately, I screen shot or the video from my monitor, and it didn't come out as well as I would. It didn't come out great at all. And so, in order to get the full video, you are probably going to have to wait till Dr. Obadele Kambon puts it up on his website, or puts it up or puts it up on ASCAC. So we have to wait for that. But to get you started, researchers, listen, anytime a researcher can get started and get access to information that is forthcoming, is a great thing. So our brother Obadele Kambon, this right here is his website. And I believe he has a conference coming up, okay, on August 30th, 2025. The third annual Abibitumi Conference on Black Power is hereby announced. Oh, this one says, now for December 25th. So this one seemed to have, it said early bird submission by August 30th. So I'm not so sure when the conference is. On Black is announced. Oh, it's announced December 2025, and the early bird submission for the conference is August 30th, 2025. That's submission for papers. Here is our brother. So before we start, here is our brother's payment information. If you want to donate, if you want to anyway contribute to what he is doing. So this is his website, Abibitumi, where you can become a member, right, of the work that he does. Let's just click on the conference real quick. He also has Obibitumi TV, which I'm going to show it to you. Okay. So this was the conference. Now, so let me see the proposal. So this may have already happened, but nevertheless, nevertheless, this is his. Let me see who popped it. Nevertheless, source now visible is maximized. Okay, so I don't know what's going on here. This is where you start your journey in learning about Abibitumi, right? And then let me put in the Abibitumi TV. So give me a second, and let's find that out. He's all about self-determination, if you don't know. And he's building a library, and his library is he's in Africa. And so in his TV, he has a number of videos that you should all try to watch. And it's beautiful. He's building something outside of the United States. And so we should be a part of that journey, right? So let's see this one right here. Let me just share. Stop sharing and resharing. Stop sharing. And let's share this again. Okay, great. So this is Abibitumi TV. And so this is where he puts his content on, right? And he is a PhD. He is one of our best linguist scholars. And we should He should be on everybody's watch list. He's listen, we have a lot of great next generation scholars, like Dr. Mario Beatty and Dr. Greg Carr, uh, uh, Dr. Salim Faraji, there's Dr. Jahi Issa, uh, there are countless of scholars, and the reason why I'm mentioning some of them is some of the ones that I mentioned I know actually personally, and they're all doing great work. They may debate amongst each other and stuff like that, but that's it. Matter of fact, oh shoot, let's just see if this is the whole presentation so that I don't have to make any corrections. Because my video came out bad. So let's see if I can.
Destruction of Black civilization.
Let's see what's going on here. Okay, Sister Tiffany Tisdale, and see if, yeah, so this might work rather than the one that I did. Okay, great. So let's see if I can blow this up. Great. So we can watch it on this site. Okay, so the Association for the Study of Classical African Civilization, they had their last conference, and we had some really great speakers there. And one of the things about ASCAC is it has been an organization that Dr. Yosef Benjo Cannon and Dr. Clark, along with Dr. Jacob Carruthers, Malana Karenga, Dr. Asa Hilliard, Dr. Leonard Jeffries, and so many others, so many grades built, and it is lasting and it's still here. And for the last couple of years, they have been doing online conferences where they have not charged. So they have not charged us. So, but they do ask that you donate. So I'm going to, before I even begin, I am going to put up their donation message. How about that? So let's put that up. Let's find this. Okay, great. And so let's listen to that message, and then I'll read some comments, and then I'll get started. All right. So while this is playing, I'm going to read some comments. What is going on? What is going on here? Sorry. So this is here. Okay, let's go.
Acknowledge you towards the end of the conference for having participated in the 100 for 100. So again, please send your ideas about the building fund efforts and about the building itself to ascacbuildingfund1@gmail.com. You can also include any suggestions, questions in the Q&A and in the chat, and I'm going to go back quickly to this slide so that you can have the information that you need to participate in the 50/50 raffle, and also the information for sending a donation to the ASCAC Building Fund through ascac.org/donate. So thank you in advance. We look forward to us having our building through our collective efforts, and we know.
Okay, what happened? It didn't share. Okay, here we go. So let's share it. Okay, so I can, yeah, here you go. Sorry about that, family. Let's play it. This is ASCAC's message to donate, which you should.
Acknowledge you towards the end of the conference for having participated in the 100 for 100. So again, please send your ideas about the building fund efforts and about the building itself to ascacbuildingfund1@gmail.com. You can also include any suggestions, questions in the Q&A and in the chat, and I'm going to go back quickly to this slide so that you can have the information that you need to participate in the 50/50 raffle, and also the information for sending a donation to the ASCAC building fund through ascac.org/donate. So thank you in advance. We look forward to us having our building through our collective efforts, and we know that together we will win. Asante Sana.
So Ethics Affairs.
Great. So we put on the payment destination for Dr. Obadele Kambon. We put in the payment information for the ASCAC building fund, right? And so now we're going to go to the presentation. So let me just try to share the presentation again. Okay. All right. Let's go. So there it goes. And hopefully you can hear it. I should. Yeah. Okay. So what is it? All right. So drum roll, ladies and gentlemen. Now, they may have some technical issues on their end. I know I have some on mine. So I think I heard an echo on their end. But let's just get through it. Let's get through it. All right. Without further ado, ASCAC, Association for the Study of Classical African Civilization, is getting ready to introduce Dr. Obadele Kambon, one of our greats. And let's see what's happening.
Construction of Black Civilization, Volume 1.
All right, great. So let me go ahead and get the slideshow started. Give me 1 second to pull it up into slideshow mode. And before I begin, I have permission from my elders to speak.
Yeah, boy, I'm so glad to see you 2 days in a row.
Good to hear you too, Baba. All right, it's interesting. The last presentation was construction of Black civilization. That's my stool name as in stool traditional ruler, also known as Obim for Prof.
Okay, so that is not the one that I check one more time. Yeah, so, okay. Let's see. It seems there's some similarities, but it's different. So I think I'm going to put on mine. I think he presented multiple times, and so that's not the one. So I'm going to put on mine. Okay, so let's begin. I'm sorry it's small, and I had some technical issues, but you're getting a chance to listen to a master class. Okay, so listen closely. Here it goes. And okay, here we go.
One's name affects one's character, one's war name determines how one behaves. So our name collectively, Kemet, this was actually significant. Kemet was actually significant. These are not just synonyms for telling you they're telling you this is land of black people, and some of the earliest instantiations of calling ourselves black people are in the so-called pyramid text of Merah Tepi, Neferkara Tepi. You stand in front of the Kemet, you literally black people like the Abraham. Meanwhile, the whites say, oh, it's only referring to cultivable soil. Those are the modern day Tepies and the Peppies will go along with that. Again, same thing. You stand in front of the Kemet like the Abraham bull. And then you have individuals calling themselves black, right? And you have the word Kim. And you have the word Kim. Mayor, seal bearer, so forth and so on. For the sake of time, black Peppy, black Kim here as well. And this is the birthpiece of charcoal from an individual. The former example was collective. Another individual, Henanit Kim, black. You can see on the line drawing, and then this is translation for the sake of time. I'll keep moving.
And this is also
the Coptic Bible. You find the exact same word with the exact same meaning. So Kame in the Coptic Bible, black. Some of you may be familiar with the Bible says, "I am black but beautiful." This is called the Song of Solomon. The Song of Solomon. Don't look at me because I'm black. And again, you find this exact same. Kame, and this is why we are clear that this word does translate to black.
So key concept of blackness you find it in Medu-Neter, Kemet, Kemet,
black people, Kemet, land of black people. When you look at how we depicted ourselves, that should be very clear.
You have a similar thing
in Akan, as I mentioned yesterday. Obini, Abibifo,
all referring to the B of charcoal,
similar to Medu-Neter.
Adulawo, the Jew,
once again referring to charcoal, black person and land of black people.
In Wolof
needs renewal against blackness as a concept. Kikongo, Ndombe, and so forth, land of the blacks. And then even non-blacks such as the Greeks, Ethiopia, land of burnt faces, referring to black people. Romans, Niger, and Nigeria come from that. Arabic, Sudan, again referring to land of black people. And this is our conceptual theoretical framework. We discussed this briefly yesterday. Again, we mentioned Nana Asa Hilliard has this chronology that, he's challenging Old Kingdom, Middle Kingdom, New Kingdom. He has a first golden age. In my case, I refer to it as the first age of black rulership, which is the age of Ma'at. And then the counterpoint to that is the age of Isfet, which is also the age of rulership, misrulership by Amu. And this is from the IDAS. Purple out. All right. In this, you have Usir Hatep Ra, Rapu Hatep Usir, and Several Bonochi pointed this out to me in his book on Imi Wenweti, Those Who Invented Time. And this is a depiction of it in a similar cosmogram as we're familiar with amongst the Bakongo. By way of methodology, we have 12 evaluative criteria and organizing principles, 4 textual analysis, and the Kambon 3 R's: relate, relative, and relevant. And these are our takeaways in our own languages. Do we call our land Kemet, the land of blacks? Do we expand Kemet to where other phenotypic black people are located? Do we engage diplomatically and or militarily with others who consider themselves to be black people? Did we engage diplomatically or militarily with others who qualify phenotypically as black people, but who do not self-identify as such? And then did we provide an understanding of the nature of others who qualify phenotypically as black people, but who do not self-identify as such for posterity? So that's on the internal side. This is all dealing with black people. Then the external side is dealing with non-blacks. Did we identify non-black people from what is now known as Eurasia as foreigners to the land of black people? And again, we're looking at each text in terms of, did it do this or did it not? Did we identify their land as foreign land, Ta and Amu or Sechet, Eurasia, and restrict them to that land? Did we prevent them from encroaching on Kemet, the land of black people? Did we decide that if and when they do enter Kemet, do we crush them militarily? When they do enter, did we drive them away? And did we provide an understanding of the nature of non-black people, Amu, from Ta and Amu, the land of foreigners, Eurasia or Sechet for posterity? And these were our research questions. If the Kemetiu self-identified as black, and they did, what did they say and do internally with others who also self-identified as black people? And this is answered in the key takeaways tables. The second question, if the Kemetiu self-identified as black, and they did, what did they think, say, and do in relation to others who qualified as black people but who did not self-identify as black people, known as the Nahasiu? If the Kemetiu self-identified as black, what did they think, say, and do in relation to those who are not phenotypically black, the Amu? And we'll get an answer to that. And then based on the answers to questions 1, 2, and 3 above, what should black people do psychologically, culturally, economically, educationally, health-wise, spiritually, socially, and politically in contemporary times? That's relevant to all table rows. And this is my father, Nana Abibi Fahonde. This is a statue that we erected of him on the premises of Abibi headquarters. And he said, this is quoting him in the Kambon Dam, he says, the African gold standard by which we measure anything and everything we think, say, and do. Everything we do has to relate, be relevant to Black liberation, and will hold the text of classical times to that same standard. So we're going to start off with Heru Narmer and the Heru Narmer palette. And for most people, people are familiar with this text as a unification document. I take a different point that this is actually a document of the eradication of non-Black Amu with their stringy fur and then their long schnoz noses. And we'll see how the two are depicted. So look at how we depicted ourselves as Black people with an afro. And this is anyone who has been a Black child knows how we do afros is still the same way. So this is how we depicted ourselves, the victors. And this is how we depicted the Amu with stringy fur, and then also stringy beards, and then that, schnoz here as well. And then here we depicted ourselves with the afros and chin-strap beards, basically getting this Serpahar under wraps. And this was associated with Mesopotamia at this point in time. You see this is a Jasper cylinder seal, the monstrous so-called Serpahars and lion-headed eagles from Mesopotamia during the Uruk period. And this is from 4100 BCE to 3000 BCE. You see again a lower register with the bull trampling another stringy-haired and stringy-bearded enemy. And then you see Chet depicted with four large free-form locks behind the shoulder and one in the front. You see staves and quote-unquote totems representing the conquering groups associated with the victorious Blacks. And then the two rows of defeated foes with their decapitated heads between the legs of their corpses. So every non-Black person is either dead or dying in this, and then all the Black people are, of course, living. And this is the side of Heru Narmer. So in this, we call Black people and or depict this in the iconography. Again, we see that very clearly. Then we engage diplomatically internal to our own land with others who call themselves Kemet Black people, and those are the victors. Here we're demonstrating that they're foreigners in terms of how they were represented. We prevented them from encroaching on Kemet, and that's what I argue the Heru Narmer palette is all about. If and when they do enter, crush them. If and when they do enter, drive them away, and then provide an understanding of their nature. So when you see the Sehem Kem for Black Power, that's what it represents in terms of that particular text. This is one of Imahu Weni. These are all of his titles and depictions of him, and then the actual text as you see here. And in the text it says, and I'll just read the translation for the sake of time, it says his servant, and we mentioned this in yesterday's presentation, drove away the Amu, sand dwellers. So this is the first narrative military document in the history of the world, and it's about keeping the non-Black Amu out of Kemet, the land of Black people. It says his servant recruited an army of many tens of thousands from all of Upper Kemet, that's Shemau, Black from the extent of Abu in the south to Medinit in the north, from the land of the marshes, Lower Kemet, like the extent of the two sides of the house, and from Sejer and Ken Sedru, and from Irjet Nahasyu. So these are the Nahasyu who are part of this Pan-African military force to drive the Amu out of the land of Black people. From Majau Nahasyu, Yam Nahasyu, Wawat Nahasyu, Kao Nahasyu, and from Chimney land. So every Black person is coming together to take part in this military campaign to drive the Amu out. And it says this army returned in safety. It had destroyed the sand dwellers' land. This army returned in safety. It had flattened the sand dwellers' land. So again, in this it has all of them that we call ourselves and or depicted ourselves as Black people. We called our land Kemet and maintained it. That one is implicit. We expanded the land to where other phenotypic Black people were located. That's the Nahasyu. We engaged diplomatically and or militarily internal to our own land. We also did so with others who qualified phenotypically as Black people, but who did not self-identify as such. That was the Wawat, Irjet, and so forth. And then we also provided an understanding of the nature of others who qualify phenotypically. And at that point in time, we were all on one accord of keeping the Amu out of the land of Black people. Again, the name Kemet is more significant than just saying, oh, that just means ancient Egypt. Again, we identified non-Black people from what is now known as Eurasia as foreigners to the land of Black people. That was done. We identified their foreign land as, Tai and Amu or Sachet. and we restricted them to that land. We prevented them from encroaching on Kemet, the black nation / land of the blacks. If and when they do enter, crush them, as was depicted in the narrative. When they do enter, drive them away, as was depicted in the narrative. And then also provide an understanding of the nature of non-black people, that is the Amu, Famtan, Amu, and Sechet for posterity. We find similarly in the autobiographical inscription of Imahu Pepinak Heka'ib, that's a tomb, and it says, it was in that the servant of the owner also sent me to the foreign land of the Eurasia, that's the that's the term we're looking at here, to bring back the body of the sole companion, overseer of Nehen, Kapur's son, the overseer of the foreigners of Akhti. He had been on the shore constructing a reed boat to travel to Punt, when the Amu, again they're up to their terroristic activities, on the top of the sand killed him, and the troops of the armed expedition which accompanied him. So again, this is not a new thing of these non-black Eurasians wreaking havoc. This is actually from the beginning of recorded history. So there's a missing text indicating that he attacked, and you just get the end of it. It says Amu, all right? It says, I drove the marauders among them away, together with the troops of the unit that was with me. So again, in this text, these are our evaluative criteria. Here we're calling ourselves black people, or depicting ourselves as such in our iconography, calling our land Kemet, the land of the blacks, and maintaining the integrity of it as such, engaging diplomatically internal to our own land with others who also call themselves Kemetiu. And then on the external side, we're identifying Amu as non-black foreigners, identifying their land as foreign land. We're preventing them from encroaching. If they do encroach, we crush them or drive them away, and then we provide an understanding of who they are as violent enemies of black people from the dawn of recorded history. We found something similar in the text of Imahu Ipuwer. Obinfo Kamal Rashid alluded to this during his presentation. But let's look at what the primary sources are saying, because again, documentation over conversation. It says, desert dwellers have become like people everywhere. A, the face is pale. What the ancestors foretold has happened. A, the top of the land carries gangs or confederates. A man goes to cultivation with his shield. A, the face is pale, the archer ready. Crime is everywhere, there is no man of yesterday. A, the desert has the wood of the land, the gnomes are destroyed. Foreign archers have come into Kemet. You see it written here, the black nation land of the blacks. They were captured in their midst like the Eurasians. None are found who will stand up to protect them against Eurasians. It says, what has come from it is to allow the Eurasians to know the state of the land. Indeed, all foreigners / desert dwellers fear it. The experience of the people is that they say, Kemet, the black nation land of the blacks, will not be given to sand, which is ironic because indeed the sand, which is symbolic of the Amu, has taken over, and nowadays we have to go to the museums, which I call ancestor prisons, to even commune with our own ancestors. So in this text, we call our land Kemet and maintain the integrity of it as such, or at least mention the need to do so. Engage diplomatically internal to our own land. Engage diplomatically with others who qualify phenotypically as black people, and then also provide an understanding of those who qualify phenotypically as black people. There are several lines about Nahasyu, which I did not read here for the sake of time, but that will be in the book for anyone who wants to get it. External, identify non-black people from what is now known as Eurasia as foreigners, so that is done. Sechem Kim. Identify their land as foreign land and restrict them to that land. Prevent those foreigners from encroaching on Kemet. If and when they do enter, crush them. When they do enter, drive them away. Provide an understanding of their nature for posterity. So that one is done. This is a great one. This is the instruction of Kheti to a son, Maru Kara, also known as Mary Kare, and that's actual papyrus there. And it says, A, and I first came across this from Nana Jedi Shemsu Jehuti. Of course, I had to look up the Meta Nature, but it says, A, the wretched Eurasian, he is miserable because of the place he is in, troubles with water, difficulties with wood, paths are many and painful due to mountains. He does not dwell in one place. Who propels his 2 feet? Problem of lack goes around the desert on his 2 feet. He has been fighting since the time of Meru, not conquering, nor also being conquered. He does not announce the day of combat. Like a thief driven out of a community, When the archers were a sealed wall, I made Tamahu, that's the land of the marshes, Lower Kemet, attack them. I captured their inhabitants, I seized their cattle, until Kemet became an abomination to the Amu, that's the Eurasians. Do not concern yourself with him, literally do not extend your heart in back of him. That's the same thing. It says the Eurasians are a crocodile on his shore. He snatches from a lonely road. He cannot seize from a populous town. But nowadays you see them seizing all of what we now refer to as North Africa. So in this is mainly about external, at least the excerpt that we have here. Call your land Kemet, the black nation / land of the blacks, and maintain the integrity of it as such. That is mentioned explicitly. But it's mainly about external. So identify non-black people as foreigners to the land of black people. Identify their land as foreign land and restrict them to that land. Prevent them from encroaching on Kemet. If and when they do enter Kemet, crush them, drive them away, and then provide an understanding. This is probably the best ideological understanding of Amu in the classical text in terms of who they are, and this would later be known as the two-cradle theory. You have Imahu Neferti, and we're going to look at this one. That's Ashrakan of that. So the Amu Eurasians, and here you see it written in the middle, that should travel by their strength. They terrorize the hearts of those upon the harvest, farmers. They seize the oxen on the plow. Strange birds will breed in the land of the marshes. Again, this is talking about them like birds in a nest. Having made its nest beside the two sides of the people having let it approach due to apathy and indifference. And this is interesting because this is a prophecy, and this is what actually happened in the form of the Hyksos, who came in first bearing gifts and then having to be driven out in the War of Black Liberation. Destroyed and taken away are those things of goodness. All goodness has been expelled. The land is cast down due to misfortune because of those feeders. Eurasians roam the land. Enemies have appeared in the east. Eurasians have come down into Kemet, the land of the black people. Right? Very, very clear in terms of the articulation. But we had a remedy for that. This Nesut will come from the south, Amani, which is a name of my youngest son. True of voice his name. Son of this woman of Taseti, child of the interior of Nehen. He will take the white crown, he will wear the red crown, he will unite the two mighty ones. Eurasians will fall to his sword, Timihu will fall to his flame, fiends to his rage, rebel due to all of him. One will build the walls of the ruler, life, prosperity, and health, to not allow Eurasians to enter Kemet. So again, this is part of our evaluative criteria for the text we're looking at. They shall beg water as beggars for their cattle to drink, or for their herds to drink. Only after that, right, then Ma'at will come to her throne, while Isfet is expelled to the outside. Let's continue. So in this, we call ourselves Kemetu and are depicted ourselves as such. We call our land Kemet, the land of black people, and maintain the integrity of it as such. We talked about engaging diplomatically internally to our own land, and so forth and so on. In this, again, this is mainly about external. We identified non-black Amu, identified their foreign land, prevented them from coming in. I talked about crushing them, driving them away, and then providing an understanding of Amu for posterity. And that was what Amini did. Here we have the text of Sanhat. And it says, I made the road for my 2 feet downstream, northward. I reached the walls of the ruler, which were mentioned previously in the last text, created to repel Eurasians, to crush sand-faring Bedouins, who were very clear that these Amu are to be prevented from coming into the land of black people. And then also on the south side, it says he has extended the boundaries. He will take possession of the southern lands without thinking about the foreign lands to the north. He was made to crush the Shetiu, that's the Eurasians, and to trample upon the sand-faring Bedouins. So again, you find our criteria. You can see what's here. For the sake of time, again, you can see what's here. Very clear articulation about who we are and who our enemies are. So this is about knowledge of self and the knowledge of enemy. Also, you have great district official of the town, Kul Sobek. This is his actual stela, a photograph. And this is known as, the first documented case of a military campaign into the land of the Amu. It says, his servant proceeded downstream to overthrow the nomadic Bedouins of Eurasia. His servant arrived at the district of Sekhmem. It was just as his servant was making a good start in proceeding to the interior, the royal residence of life, prosperity, and health. when the Sekhmim fell upon us together with the wretched retinue. While I was acting in the rear guard of the army, then the living one soldiers of the army engaged to fight the Eurasians. Back in the day, we were very clear on who we are and who our enemies are. Now that we've gotten miseducation from our enemies, we think everybody has always been singing Kumbaya with our non-black enemies. That's a sidebar. Then I smote the Eurasian, then I had his weapons to be taken by 2 soldiers of the army without me missing the fighting. I was brave, literally my face sight was blessed. I did not turn my back to the Eurasian, that's the arm right here. Since what's red lives for me, I speak the truth. Then his servant proceeded southward to overthrow the archers of the bow. Then I smote the Nehis and Kemet at the side of the townsfolk. Again, you can see what's depicted here for the sake of time. I want to keep it moving. Covered yesterday, and again, that was an extract from the book. This is what I regard as the most important text because it covers everything. It says, a ruler is in Hutweret and another in Cush, a sitting joined with an Ammon and a Hasi, each man having his own portion of this Kemet, the black nation land of the blacks. And what you find is that the Amu and the Nahasyu are in cahoots with each other, or as we said, in bed with each other yesterday, sharing the land with me. I shall be engaged in battle with him, and I shall slit his belly. For my heart intention is to save Kemet. Again, that means the land of black people, striking the Amu, and this is what you see right here in the primary text. Dividing the land with me is not tolerable for me. The Eurasians allied with him. I shall be sailed northwards to do battle with the Amu, and success will come to pass. If he intends to be at ease, and then there's a break in the text, then his eyes will be about to weep, and the entire land will say, the ruler within the interior of Waset, Kamos the brave, the protector of Kemet, right? That's also one of my youngest sons' name, right? Kemet. I sailed north to my victory to drive back the Amu by the command of Amen, corrective council, my army in front of me like a blast fire, with the archers of Najail upland of our encampment, ready to seek out the Sechetyu and destroy their dwellings. I sent the mighty archers of the Najail while I was on watch near Wahid to confront Teti, son of Pepi, that was a sellout, within Neferusi without letting him flee. And I confined the Amu who were defying Kemet, for he had made Neferusi as a nest for the Amu. As Amen the brave endures, I will not let you alone. I will not let you tread the ground, very important, without my being upon you. May your heart quake thereat, O wretched Am. I took them away entirely. I did not leave anything of where, for it was emptied out. O unfortunate Am, may your heart quake thereat, O wretched Am. I left it laid waste without people therein. I destroyed their towns, I burned their abodes, being made into desolate mounds forever because of this destruction that they do inside of the land of black people. They who continuously serve for the Amu, the Eurasians, when they overran Kemet, their mistress. And then this is being in bed with the Amu between the Nahasyu. It says, I captured his messenger upland of the oasis going south to Cush with a written letter. Let me come back. It says, I found on it saying in writing from the ruler of Hutweret, Suare, son of Ray Pepi, regarding greetings to the son of the ruler of Cush. Come northward, do not flinch, check it, he is here in my hand, and there is no one who can stand up to you in Kemet, the black nation, land of the blacks. Do not hesitate, do not flinch, do not hesitate to arrive. Then we divide the towns of Kemet, the land of black people, and Nefer shall be in joy. So again, this has everything internally, and it has everything externally. So I now turn my attention to the Dikenga theory of Kemetu consciousness. Again, in the book, I cover several more texts that for the sake of time, I've had to omit. But basically, you have a temporary, you have a periodic, let me say, rising of consciousness of ourselves as black people, and then a setting of ourselves as black people, which tends to happen when there are no non-black people around. Then we start, fighting amongst ourselves or doing any other types of other things. However, what we find is that similar circumstances, ancient and modern, give birth to similar types of reactions. If you're in the similar context, you will have a similar type of reaction. And what we say is intelligent creatures recognize common ancestry and common descent for survival against common enemies. So lions come together against hyenas for their common survival, and then also hyenas come together again with other hyenas against lions. Now, some people who have gotten through the Eurasian miseducation system will say, oh, they're all mammals, we don't see species, but I'll come back to that. So even buffalo are smart enough to know that they should come together on the basis of what we have in common, but we're constantly taught that, oh, Pan-Africanism, or us referring to ourselves as black people, is a modern day phenomenon, as though we're dumber than buffalo, right? This is a video, we don't have time to show it, but these are buffalo who came together against lions, and they were successful in saving a lion who had been driven, a baby buffalo. So we don't have time for that, but essentially the entire herd came together, and that baby buffalo was saved because they came together on the basis of common ancestry and common descent, as we did back in Kemet. Even fish are smart enough to know that they need to be in schools. Zebras are smart enough to know that they need to come together in herds, but we're always taught that, oh, we didn't think about coming together as black people until the 15th century, which means we're dumber than fish, according to those scholars. Orcas know to come together in pods with a collective survival, and they know enough to know that you have a common ancestry and common descent, and they come together. So this is an image I thought was cute. It said, I know your kind have been slaughtering and eating my kind for thousands of years, but I do not hate you. You are my brother. We are both animals. I do not see species. And it says, it sounds just as silly when Negroes say it. In a world of wolves is not a Marcus Garvey. One should go armed, and one of the most powerful defensive weapons within the reach of Negroes is the practice of race first in all parts of the world. But this is not a new idea. We did this consistently in classical Kemet. But when we don't know who our enemies are, this is what happens. So in the 20s, you had the wolves that were exterminated from Yellowstone National Park. But when they were reintroduced in the mid-90s, you had elk who did not budge for wolves because they did not recognize their common enemy. We have a similar thing when black people have been away from Amu for too long, and we don't recognize them automatically as enemies, and that's a problem. Again, this is the Dikenga theory of Kemetu consciousness. It rises and it sets periodically. But in the past, you have people who never read the text of classical Kemet that I just read to you, but they knew to come together on the basis of blackness and to slay their non-black enemies. You find the same thing in Haiti, in the constitution of Nana Jean-Jacques Dessalines. We consistently were smarter than, or at least as smart as buffalo and orca and zebra to know that we should come together on the basis of what we have in common against our common non-black enemies. And we did that again in Haiti, right? Doesn't this look a lot like the normal ballot? We did that in Haiti, as mentioned. We did that in Haiti, as mentioned. So we're at least as smart as fish. So Nana Paul Bogle, he said that they had an oath, said they would cleave to the black and cleave from the white. Now, Nana Paul Bogle probably never read those texts from classical Kemet, but he's at least as smart as every other species on the entire planet Earth. The only species that's dumb, let me say, that has been stupefied to the point that they don't know that are those who have gone through crackademia and are, in universities and so forth. So in 1805, again, I would say Nana Jean-Jacques Dessalines probably never read those texts from classical Kemet. He was at least as smart as every other species on the earth when he said, no white man or whatever nation he may be shall put his foot on this territory with the title of master or proprietor, neither shall he in future acquire any property therein. And then he said that everyone here shall be known only by the generic, all the black people that is, shall be known by the generic appellation of blacks. And, that should be familiar because that's what we used to do back in the good old days. And this is why Nana Jedi Shamsu Jehuti, he focused a lot of his work on classical Kemet and Haiti because in both of those cases, you have black people coming together on the basis of being black against our non-black enemies, as you see here in the mural of Sarah Seti. And again, I'm not the first person to point this out. Baba Omoale said we have a common enemy. We have this in common. We have a common oppressor, a common exploiter, a common discriminator. But once we all realize that we have this common enemy, then we unite on the basis of what we have in common. And what we have foremost in common is that enemy, the white man. He is an enemy to all of us. I know some of you all think that some of them are enemies. Time will tell. I don't know if time has told that to any of us here. Nana Amos Wilson had a similar conclusion that the white man's going to feed. He's not going to feed your children before he feeds his own. Again, they are smart enough to come together on the basis of what they have in common. So this is not a new thing. Nana David Walker also talked about, there's no more harm for you to kill a man who is trying to kill you than it is for you to take a drink of water when thirsty. Doesn't that, put you in the mind of Sarah Merikare? again, you had this rising again. Bantu Biko, Nana Bantu Biko probably never read those texts from classical Kemet, but he came to the idea that we are all black and we need to come together on the basis of that blackness against a common enemy. Again, anytime we have non-black enemies in our vicinity, we come to this exact same conclusion, whether or not we know that there's a precedent thousands of years before where he talks about black consciousness, black people, real black people, and so forth and so on. Nana Marcus Garvey came to that exact same conclusion without reading that there was a precedent thousands of years before, but again, he talks about the Negro now stands at the crossroads of human destiny, and so forth and so on. For the sake of time, I want to get to everything. We have this scale of blackness that genotype and phenotype are necessary, but not sufficient. You also have identity, allegiance, character, and behavior, and you find that with relation to Nahatsu in classical times as well, that sometimes you have those who are phenotypically black, and they would align on the side of the land of black people. Other times you have those who are phenotypically black, but they decide to align with the Amu, the non-black Eurasians. However, we talk about black population, not necessarily dealing with location. And Wolof, we say, Lubant Yagyari Chindoch, Du Takmosopaliku Muk Jafik. And in Akan, we have the same thing, Du Focheda and Sumota, Indan Odencham. A piece of a log will never turn into a crocodile, no matter how long it remains in a river. And Baba Omoale came to the exact same thing without knowing Wolof or Akan. He says, just because a cat has kittens in an oven, you don't call the kittens biscuits. That were all black people regardless of location. And by the same token, the pale white Arab invaders, colonizers, and enslavers are still the same regardless of the fact that they're now in so-called North Africa. And this is the Amu League that, is a testament to the fact that they know who they are, regardless of their location. But for us, where is our Kemet U League? So in the works of Nana Marcus Garvey, he mentioned a Negro empire upon which the sun will never set. Well, that's already there, but we don't recognize it as such. But this is what this presentation is about. And essentially, this is the intellectual basis for the reconquest of the land of black people. This is the same conclusion as yesterday. And there are the implications for contemporary Second Kim black power, that Kemet, the black nation, land of black people in ancient Egypt, are not synonyms. And again, as I mentioned yesterday, if you do not understand what Kemet, the black nation, land of black people means, anything else you think you understand about it will only confuse you. So in conclusion, Madam, appreciate y'all. I know I'm out of time, which is why I've been speaking like I don't have much, huh?
No, actually, you do. Thank you, Nana. You do have we have another minute or two. I just wanted to give you the time signal, so that's perfect. And I guess we can point to one of the questions in the chat. If you can answer briefly, we have about 2 to 3 minutes. There's a few of them here, so let's see. So Baba Mabry wrote that his work is in Kemet as well, and that Kim means sacred black in relationship to the happy Ankh, Hep, bull. So Kemet is sacred. I guess this is a comment, black herd, that sets them apart by their religious beliefs. And he points to the Abkua text. Kim is a Netcher, so that this relationship is not skin color only, but being in Ma'at, where the Deseret bulls are in Isfet and Foreign. And so he says your thoughts on that part.
Okay, so the blackness is on multiple levels. One is the blackness of Ra. This is why we centered a lot of things in terms of Ra, because we came to the conclusion that we are the people of Ra. And I know Baba Jeffries talked about the sun people and the ice people. Well, of course, in Kemet, we didn't have a reference for ice per se, but we referred to them as the people of Set. And Set is associated with the storm clouds that block out the sun. So those are the people who are always blocked out, by the sun, and that makes them the non-black Amu. But then on our side, because we are always in relation to Ra and nature, then we are black. But then also, when they say, oh, it's the black soil, well, that one too, they painted themselves into a corner because we said Khanum made us out of that black soil, which again makes us black people. What you bring up about, I'm familiar with this. There's a mural that shows the different colors, and it has Kim with the black bull and so forth. And that's why the earliest instantiation of us collectively calling ourselves black people, you find this in the pyramid text. You also find it in an inscription of Sabi Kim. This is in a basically expedition to the Sinai Peninsula. So yes, you have multiple levels of blackness. But yes, so definitely we call ourselves black people. And again, we also recognize non-black Amu were the enemies of black people. They're the incarnation of Isra, and we are the incarnation of Ma'at, both on a cosmic level, on the socio-political level, and then also on the individual level.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you so much, Baba Nana Kambon. We appreciate you. And I think we've answered, yes, the major question that was listed here. So there are other comments and other, questions you would like to answer, you can feel free in the Q&A.
Okay.
I'd say silent.
Oh, great. Okay, great. I hope you can hear me. Press 1 if you can hear me. Press 1. I am going to put in the link real quick. And let's talk about it. I'm sorry about the audio. I apologize about the audio. Can you hear me? Press 1 if you can hear me. Let's just check something. Okay. I'd like to know if you can hear me. All right. Son Ka, how you doing? What you talking about? Let's see what Son Ka's saying. Okay, great. Okay. So why is this a master class? Well, he's a PhD. He gave us his methodology. He talked about internal, what the African thought about himself internally, and he talked about the external, what the African talked about noticing his neighbors. Different than the presentations that we saw earlier this year and last year from some of the other experts, is that they never completed their points with text. All they did was try to analyze what Kemet is to them, but not with any particular text. And so some of them had good comments. Dr. Jonathan Winterman had great comments. He broke down, because that's his area, the concept of Kemet, meaning that which is black. But the problem is to me, is that he used the T as not as a collective, but as some variable to kind of talk about various attributes of Kemet by saying that which is black. And so he said, well, he never really came out directly and said that one of those attributes could be one of those attributes of nouns could be people, right? But Kemet, you have collective nouns, right? Kemet, certainly you have Kemet the cattle, and that's a collective noun. So why would Kemet the people would be any different? So Kemet with the E1 classifier, right, which is cattle. You have your YouTube open. So Kemet with the E1 classifier, which is the cattle, means black cattle. Kemet with the A1-B1 for them always means black land. But the problem is that that's 049, and the 049 has nothing to do with land. If you look at the Gardner Code of 049, the O, you're looking at cities and structures, right? So it could never be land. That would be in a whole nother Gardner Code category. So they always break their rule, and we always laugh at them. The people who don't know, they simply don't know, right? Well, Jose, Joey, how are you today?
I'm good. What's up?
Okay, great. So I'm sorry about the audio, and of course he only had 30 minutes to kind of put everything he wanted to do. So he talked real quick, and we can go over some of the pieces that he talked about. So what is your thoughts? I'm listening. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
You hear me?
All right. What are your thoughts? Yes.
Yeah. I read one of Mario Bailey's papers today on my stream.
Oh, great. Everybody check out our brother
It
Joey
was a celestial sphere.
Solomon. Yeah, that's his was that his PhD? Decent?
I don't know how old it was, but I read it and I actually went over the source because I have the source. The purpose of our note. So you'll see the paper and the source open as well.
Did you say did you say that again? What did you say? Nui or Annie?
Anui.
Okay, great. So what did you think about Dr. Yes.
Yeah, man.
So what did you think about Dr. Kambon? And we're going to go over some points of his. But so what did you think about Dr. Kambon's breaking up the internal?
I think it was very interesting. It was a very interesting point of view, a very unique point of view. It was a very unique point of view that I've never heard before. So it's very interesting.
Why?
It's always good. It's always good when you hear someone come with a unique point of view.
Okay, the Hebrews and the Christians, they come with unique point of views all the time, right? But that don't mean it's right. That don't mean it's relevant.
But there's a difference between coming with actual sources and just talking from the Bible. The Bible is not a source for anything. The Bible can be a source, so there's nothing unique about the book.
Well, that's what I'm trying to pull out so that you can make so we can understand your point. Okay, so what did he do in this presentation? Let's talk about some of the things that he did do.
Well,
and hopefully
the audio wasn't too hot, so I couldn't really hear what he was saying, huh? But he said the palette of Nama.
Mm-hmm.
He said the palette of Nama was dealing with beating up Asiatic people.
Okay, so that's a good.
And I really
that's a really good point.
And some of them might have been Asiatic.
You said some of the people, so you kind of disagree. You say some of the people in the Nama palette. Some of the people. Okay, his point was that the African people were living, and in this case, they're all African. Let me just fix that. He's trying to say that there were groups of people that was living, and they happened to be the Kemet, and then there is the Amu, right? Those groups of people who he designated as Amu, they were not living. I'm going to try to pull up. I'm just going to try to pull up and make some things a little louder, right? So he made that the kind of that comparison. Okay, go ahead, Joey. I mean, you're the only one on right now. Camdiverse says, it's interesting to see how the political stance of Dr. Kambon and Dr. Sandro Capocicci differs. Both are historical linguists. Yes, people go through information with different lenses. Dr. Sandro Capocicci, his work is largely grammatical and linguistics. Dr. Obadele Kambon is using this as a concept of yesterday and today and tomorrow. And he made this beautiful association of herds, different groups of herds, different groups of herds. They support each other against other types of herds. He might have used the word species. I used the word herds. And so they're smart enough. Hyenas are smart enough to unify against the lions. Lions, though they are strong, they can be defeated by groups of hyenas, right? He is basically saying our problem today is that maybe we don't know that there's a cause to unify, but that's what history allows us to, history and present conditions allow us to make a determination. It says, what's the best course of action, right? So he made that point. So I agree that it's interesting how, but there's diversity in thought. So there's also other scholars, Dr. Musalam, and of course our elder scholars, Dr. Diop and Dr. Ben. But what one thing is unescapable is that there are groups of people attempting to take Africa and African people and categorize them as something that they are not in history, right? And so if we take it from that point of view, we are in the, let me see, I don't know why I can't find it. Oh, I know why I can't find it. Oh, we are in this point of view where we are trying to use history to help us understand ourselves and our future in our present condition. And I think that most of our political, so Dr. Kambon is more political. Dr. Sandro Capocicci is not showing, I'm not saying that he is not political, he's just not showing that his he's not showing his politics and his work. He's hiding it, right? Or maybe he's not concerned about it, right? So that is kind of the difference between the two. So let me just try to pull this up. But Joey, you're on, so I'm listening to you. What's going on? What else are you thinking about? I want to only talk about Dr. Obadele Kambon. That's the only thing I want to talk about, him and his and some of his concepts. I don't want to really talk about any other scholars, but we can contrast them. So I would accept what Camdiverse was talking about in
But let me ask you a question, Reggie.
Contrasting information. Okay, so what else?
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
So let me ask you a question.
You asked me
if you're walking
yes.
in a jungle and it's surrounded by 6 gorillas,
I'm here.
Shouldn't you know you need help, Reggie?
You said what? Say that again.
If you're in a jungle by yourself and you're surrounded by 6 gorillas, shouldn't you know you need help? Or should you try to fight them
Definitely
by
that
yourself? What should
danger.
you do?
Run and get help. Run and get help from my collective, the people that care about me. That's what I should do. And that was his point, right? That simply was his point. I'm trying to put up Candy versus comment. There it goes. Dr. Central Capochichi's comments on hair being primary in Kemet grammar and skin being secondary was interesting. He's correct about that because if you read the text, hair is, how can I say, there is a word for gray hair, there's a word for hair, dark hair, right? And but the dark hair, of course, is a derivative of it. Skin has been something that European scholars, not Black scholars, but European scholars try to use the okie doke on us, right? To pretty much say that those people in there, they weren't really Africans. And then over time, they went to another type of argument because then they started looking at the artwork and they see different images, and then they decide whether those images are symbolic, right? So then they had to run to the symbol. Black means death, but then black means virility and fertility, right? But it means death. So they find themselves in a hole, and when we listen to them enough, we could see the holes that they drive themselves into, the contradictions, right? So that is that. I'm going to put the link in again. Let's put the link in again. So Jose, while you're, while you're on, I'm looking for your points. I'm looking for more. What's interesting? What you disagree about? That's my brother Saul Kyle. What are you talking about? And then when I'm trying
I think I should do.
Well, what?
I think. Well, okay. I'm not one. Well, Reggie, I'm not one. I'm not one who's the best, who's well studied. So I don't want to make any determination based on poor sources.
Okay.
You know, I got in trouble the other day, Reggie. Because I jumped out there talking about people getting burned up in ancient Kemet, and I used a bad source, huh?
You was all right.
Well,
you did
Smash. Smash
boy.
is a magi. He's not going
I jumped out there with a bad citation.
Yeah,
but you was right.
Okay. Yeah, so here's the thing. Smash is going to push you. Like, if I talk to Smash about human sacrifice, right? He is going to he's going to start loading up his arrows on me, right? And so if you have your sources, you don't have to back down, right? The fact of the matter is that people were sacrificed in different ways. But one thing about those people of the Nile Valley, they knew that if your body was not whole, right, in the afterlife, in their sins, you wouldn't. How can I say? You wouldn't go to your place. So if I burnt my enemy, right, or I cut off my enemy's hand, then I know in the next place in their thinking, they won't have hands. They're dismembered. So they put a high quality on a whole body, right? Now, you could have come back on Smash and said, well, if I eviscerated my enemy back at all, right? Wherever they go, they're not coming back. And you could have raised, and then you could have looked for some text. That's why I saw saying, but again, I'm here to talk about Dr. Bone. I'm not here to talk so much about anything else because then we don't learn anything. We really don't. We get distracted, right? We get distracted.
Absolutely.
Sabo Song Khan, what's going on, bro? Help me out.
What's up, Saber? What's up, Solomonic? Man, and shout out to the chat. We always got the esteemed chat over here. You got your brother Cam G and company, Pan African James. When we're building, call us by our African names. But Dr. Kambon, he let his feelings be known, man. And I like his approach because it's more staunch, right? He doesn't give any wiggle room for interpretation to what he's thinking per se. When he was talking about the I hate that I was surprised by these.
That's all right. Sorry, I'm yes, go ahead.
He was talking about the why can't I articulate it? Damn. Short-term memory is a mess.
Yeah, we're getting older.
He's talking about their color and them calling themselves the first people to call themselves, or the only people to call themselves that in history, and defining the hold up, give me a second to get my thought back together, man. I hate when this happens. It's from prize fighting. My short-term memory is really bad.
So, you like Ali? All right.
Yeah.
Well, okay. So when he sees Kemet to you, he says black people. And as a linguist, as he is, and someone who reads the meta nature as he is, he knows that that Kemet, right, with the A1-B1 glyph, right, the seated man and the seated woman, could only mean black people. He knows that Kemet with the 049 glyph really could only mean black city, but he says black land. But what it is the 049. The problem with that is that you can't make it the other Gardner codes that deal with land, right? Because they're in another category. So if you are strictly using Medu Neter, 049 is Nuit, and Nuit means a city, not cultivated land. But in his context, he seems to draw this close similarity of when he means land, he means state, the black state. He doesn't literally mean land.
Yeah.
Right?
He says like the land of black people. And as you know what I mean, and he'll say that over and over, and he really drives the point home. He doesn't leave any wiggle room.
Yeah, he wants good arguments. So he's saying if you have a good argument, he'll hear your argument. But you have a problem with him because there's the Kemet with the A1-B1 glyph. You can't make it people of the black land, right? Because there's just the Kemet glyph, right? The I6 glyph, right? And the feminine T, right? That does not mean land, right? So that means, well, with Dr. Winneman, I'm going to use him. that which is black, right? That which is black. And then you use your classifiers. So then the classifiers say A1-B1, which is people. So his that which is black, and then there's the people. So you could say black people. If you say how I know this is true, because if you say Kemet with the E1 glyph, which is cattle, you're not saying cattle of the black land. You're saying black cattle. Nobody says cattle of the black land. So then why and so Kemet with the 049 glyph, you would say black city or black country or black state.
Black land, as he said, yeah.
But that land that he's talking about is really the black community, black state. So now he does something that is so Kemet black is an adjective for people, right? So he reads this text. He reads several texts and it's not clear, right? I don't know if you could see it clear, but on the bottom, right, you see Henny the Black, right? So Henny the Black, we know that Henny the Black, this is Hep, right? This is Hep,
Happy,
right? What the Black Heppy, and so the problem with this is that we will see in the same kind of family, we will see two people, one they called the black and one they called the red, right? And then they're talking about darker and lighter, right? So it wouldn't hurt if you said, okay, Happy the dark, right? But the thing about it is that Europeans like a binary. They like white and black. They thinking binary. Dr. Kambon is largely talking about culture. So what I wanted when I asked him that question about that it doesn't mean skin color only, then that allowed him to deal with those people who think it's skin color only. Black is like a culture. How do we know this? It's those herds, right? Identifying with animals, and they're identifying with their sacred animal, which is Apis the bull. So he brings up let's see, okay, where's it? Okay, so he brings in a lot of different concepts. All right, so one of the things that he does, and let me go fix this real quick. Let's see if I can fix it. All right.
It reminded me of my book, the explanation I give in the book concerning the land and the other portions in the pieces, except for the people, because I didn't put the people portion in the book yet. But yeah, he definitely was. He was red hot with that. Definitely red hot with it.
Okay. So let's go back over here before I do this. Okay, so Control A, Control C. Right. If anybody's out there, here's my Cash App, right? Please support my page. Please like. First thing, everybody, please like the video. At least do that, right? Please like the video for me. So embedded in his conversation was a methodology, right? Of a way in which to look at internal and external concepts that they're using. And he went back and he used this several times. He kind of mapped it on his presentation, right? So internal they're calling themselves Kemet, right? He's translating it as black people, right? That's his gloss for Kemet, black people. And he's saying that those people are calling themselves that, and they're identifying with a charcoal, right? Or some a charcoal, right? And so they're identifying themselves with not just a color, but a series of concepts related. And he would say Ra, I would say herd, right? There are other people that might say use a crocodile foot, but that's still dark. And we know that this Kemet is contrasted to another color concept, which is Deseret, which is red, right? So, but he's saying that these people are associating themselves with the charcoal, right? Now, he says they call your land Kemet, the black nation / land. So now he's telling you that Kemet, his land, is really not just a land, but a country, a black nation, right? He's saying that 3, the black nation / land of the blacks, to where other phenotypical people, right, are also located. So he brings in the Nehesi, right? So the Nehesi are located also in this group, right? They're there, right? Who is not ever a part of this nation is the Amu. The Amu is never, ever, ever part of Kemet, right? They are outsiders. Now they were able to take parts of the country, invade them, but they were never considered citizens of this Kemet with the Nuit sign, right? If I'm wrong, stop me, argue with me, give me all the smoke.
I'm gonna say that they weren't welcome citizens, and I say that because when we go to who is it, Amos's writing, he says, "I share the land with uh, the Asiatic, the vile. I think he called them the vile
Yeah, he
Asiatic or
says
something crazy."
they all had their slice of this place, meaning, but he basically said it in the context of they took a slice of the piece, meaning it was something whole, and and people grabbed a piece of it, but the whole still existed. I think that's what he was saying. But they're not welcome. The Amu is not welcome, right? As being
no.
Amu. Now he says 6, provide an understanding of the nature of others who qualify phenotypical as black, right? But who do not self-identify as such for prosperity. So he's going to map this on that there are people who qualify phenotypically as black, but do not self-identify. So this concept of black that he is talking about, I think that he's not talking skin color only, right? He's talking about this culture that believes or has particular beliefs in different things like Ra, right? Like Ma'at, as opposed to East Fet. Identifies, well, my work is they identify with the black cattle, right? So this is his mapping of how to kind of understand what he believes internally the people believe. Then he goes in, and then now those people, they talk about the external, right? Now he says that they identify them known as Eurasia as foreigners, well, to the land of black people. So he draws a really hard line, right? Non-black foreigners from anywhere on the continent, now known as Eurasia or Eurasians for short. So in this concept is these people of the Nile Valley, right? Or self-identifying themselves and identifying their neighbors, particularly the ones that are hostile to them, and they seem to be in Eastfed. Okay. I'm giving you this because this is what he left us with. 8, identify their land as a foreign land. So when they talk about when those people of Kemet, Tawi, Tameri, right, Hinu, whatever, when they identify their city, state, country, they also identify the foreigners' places, right? And want to restrict them to that land, meaning they don't want them in this place unless they change their behavior, right? They don't want them, right? It's not about they don't want them because of skin color. They don't want them because they're just not culturally.
They're vile.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They let it be known like this. You guys are really out of pocket when we deal with you. It's another reason why some of the prayers start to go to keep out the Chenu, keep out the Amu.
That's correct. And keep the Rakit in their place. Right?
Yes.
And so the other part that he notices that it's their job to keep out these people from these other places and cultures from encroaching into their country. And these are the things that he's building on. 10 says, if and when they do enter, right, crush them. Right? Like you're not like you're going to abhor Kemet, right? In the text of Merikari, which he brings up, right? 11, when they do enter, drive them away. Like if crush them and drive them away. And in 12, provide an understanding of the nature of non-black people from the land of foreigners, right? Meaning understand there's different qualities. One is within Ma'at. The rationale is one is in Ma'at and the other is in Eastfed, right? And that's their thinking. That's like lions don't want hyenas around. Hyenas don't want lions around, right? Hippos don't want anybody around. Elephants will tolerate you, but stay in your place, right? Stay in your place. Elephants, they will deal with all other type of animals, but when they say move, right?
Move around.
Right? So here's his research questions, and sorry, it's blocked out. So you're going to have to go to Dr. Kambon and ASCAC to get that. I can play it for you, but I'm going to keep it on. I apologize to Dr. Kambon. What I was trying to do is write my question and get on the line before everybody else's questions get on the line. And so while I was thinking, I was typing, and I had one monitor up. And I got my other monitor kind of fixed now. So but he showed as an African man, as an African, his father, right? And so he's showing his own values within his own paper. So now we go to Joey's conversation. What he saw Dr. Kambon do which Dr. Kambon brought up, He sees this as not a unification, right? But applying his external views, crush them, drive them out, kill them, pacify them, because y'all don't believe in Bot up here, who becomes a Thor, right? I'm going to smite you, right? I'm going to pull you by your nose, right? As their Necher Heru, right? It's going to taunt them, make it hard for them, and then they say, "This is our culture," and you see the two Horuses, maybe male and female. You see these not the
Set.
he's more like a jackal in his in his place, right? And then there is the placenta, right? But nevertheless, you're right, Asar and Ka, right? This is what they believe, and this is what we do to them, right? We're going to cut off their heads and put it between their legs, right? Like, we don't want you here, right? And here, of course, in this particular context, this particular area, they seem to be dealing with the Ugaritic type of people, right? And that they are pacifying them. They know that they're there and that they're pacifying them. And then here, the king, Nermer, becomes a bull, charges a city and breaks open a city and pacifies, kills, Met, a person, right? So what he's saying is, we're going to live, we're going to survive, we're going to thrive with our values, and we're going to totally, this is Nermer, we're going to fix you. So he sees this as, what were you saying, Joey? He's, well, Dr. What did you say about what you thought about what Dr. Kambon said? I can't hear you. But the thing is, in the Nermer pilot, very early on, they're putting their values up against other people who they deem as foreigners.
No, I was saying that some of these people that fight against do look Asiatic, so he might be right.
Well, that's what he pretty much said. These people are not in the style. They're foreigners, right? Asiatic is problematic. That's maybe one of the places where they might originally came from, but in this context, they are in Africa. These people are in Africa, right? At this time, Nermer's not leaving Africa and going to other places. These are Africans, right? But not necessarily the same herd as Nermer's people. Okay. And then, of course, I had some technical difficulties when I was filming it, and so I didn't do the close-ups, but he spent some time doing the close-ups. And then he made his point. Let's see if I can go over here, where he showed this kind of serpicad figure coming from, and he located it actually in Mesopotamia people, or some of these groups of people that was in Africa brought this into Africa. And basically the king is saying, now take it away. Take it away. We don't want any of these concepts in our place. Okay, so now there you go. So so he has an internal, he has an external, right? Where he's basically saying, drive them away, crush them, right? Don't let them encroach on our land. And we can see all of these concepts in kind of border, some of the border stones. I messed this up. There is something in one of these presentations which which we haven't studied or saw. Joey, we haven't studied, right? In one of these texts, right? And so we got to get the text, we got to find these texts and we got to go over with it, because at some point in one of the texts, right, the Africans internally call these groups of people pale. Did y'all hear that?
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. So I'm going to try to find out where it is, and I'm going to play something. Let's see. Let me see if it's here. Let's see.
And the troops of the armed expedition which accompanied him. So again,
oh, my audio is going to mess this up. Sorry.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking it's in the text of Nefertiti, but it's going to say the face is pale, right? So listen closely. Pan African James, he don't be playing, boy. Like you think Dr. Kambon is bad. Listen, Pan African James, he don't want no Neanderthal anything close to him, right? So so okay, so let me mute my mic.
That's why I was saying, because he get raw. That's what I was saying. He's so upfront and staunch about the situation. I'm like, man. So what did he call him? Did he call him Hedge?
Sorry. If we listen closely, and we might have to talk to Dr. Campbell, or it's in one of the books, but these are the translations. He's gonna say, I'm trying to put it to a place where he says what the text is. So let's listen closely and see. And I saw you probably read the text, so let's see. So let me just start from here. Give me a second. Mute my mic.
It's small for us. But yeah, let me. If you blow it up a little bit.
I can't. So I'm only doing this to make us aware of, and then when we can get the whole presentation, then we'll search for the whole presentation and find out exactly. But he's talking about another presenter who presented this, and he's using it to make his point in his analysis of internal and external. So let's listen closely, and then maybe you could hear. But he said something like Imaki So it's on a deceased. So the text of a deceased person, and then it's where it's what he says. So maybe we can get the name, and I'll try to figure out where the text is. Okay, because I checked the TLA in the it's not in the TLA, of course. Of course, it's not in the TLA, right?
Right.
You got
Where
you
it
got to
should be.
translate it yourself. So let's just listen. Okay, so let me mute my mic. I'm still laughing at Pan African James. Where is it at? So here goes while we listen.
Is it playing, Saber?
Did you say what? Huh?
Is it playing?
Is it what?
Is it
Did
playing?
you hear it?
There's no
How could
sound.
be not no sound?
Hmm.
Right? See,
Share plus share sound.
yeah, sister. I'm gonna stop sharing and I'm put the sound. I'm gonna share it again. Sorry. So here goes share screen, and here.
Well, I was like, he must be digging down. I was thinking, I'm like, it's probably playing and ain't got no sound on this thing.
Sorry. I'll try it again. Share screen here. Right. Share audio. Okay.
Yes, that would make it a wrap.
So here goes share audio, and so okay, there it goes, share audio. Here it goes. All right, so I'm gonna play it now. Okay, starting from here. Okay, yeah, okay. I gotta mute my mic, and then I'm gonna search for this because I could make the sound bigger, but I can't do it now.
For preventing them from encroaching. If they do
Yeah, we
encroach,
can hear.
we curse them or drive them away, and then we provided an understanding of who they are as violent enemies of Black people from the dawn of recorded history. We found something similar in the text of Imahu Ipuwer. Obimbo Kamal Rashid alluded to this during his presentation. But let's look at what the primary sources are saying, because again, documentation over conversation. It says, desert dwellers have become like people everywhere. Hey, the face is pale. What the ancestors foretold has happened. A, the top of the land carries gangs or confederates. A man goes to cultivation with his shield. A, the face is pale, the archer ready. Crime is everywhere, there is no man of yesterday. A, the desert has the wood of the land, the gnomes are destroyed. Foreign archers have come into Kemet. You see it written here, the Black nation, land of the Blacks. They were captured in their midst like the Eurasians. None are found who would stand up to protect them against Eurasians. It says, what has come from it is to allow the Eurasians to know the state of the land. Indeed, all foreigners / desert dwellers fear it. The experience of the people is that they say, Kemet, the Black nation, land of the Blacks, will not be given to sand, which is ironic because
Okay, I'm gonna have to make it louder, but there's a lot of things going on. They're saying that he's saying that he's equating the Amu with being pale, and then he's talking about sand dwellers, and then they go on to equate the people who are pale with sand. Did y'all hear that?
Yup.
Yup.
Said it a few times too.
So I will what I will do is I will try to make it louder, and then if someone come on, join a baby tip to me, right, Dr. Kambon. Let's see if we can find his presentation where he actually says it, and let's get his meta-nature, and or let's get the primary text. But I think that that's something that's is a project that should be on Jonathan's show, Smash Rockwell's show, because now we have the people internally identifying these Amu as desert dwellers, right? Identifying them with the sand, right? And identifying them as pale, right? I'll play it one more time. But now we have something that's unexpected, right? Because everybody wants to say that they didn't play skin color games. Well, in this particular case, they did, and then they talked about the Nehesi and other groups of people who are identifying with them, with the pale ones, right? Oh, Pan African James said he heard it loud and clear. So I'm gonna play it again. Okay, let me find it.
The top of the land carries gangs of Confederates. We crush them or drive them away, and then we provide it.
Okay, so I got the point, and so like I said, I'm doing this as a. Sometimes we go to a conference, everything goes wrong. Our recording goes wrong. We have no evidence, but at least we have some tea leaves or some footprints to a text that we need to study, right? And it make Pan African James really happy, right? And it will kill the other arguments that from our other groups of people that say that they call themselves black, they didn't play skin color games. I think the concept of being pale is works with the artwork of Kemet and the Book of Gates and stuff like that, where they're showing different herds of people. So with that said, let me mute my mic and let's play it again.
An understanding of who they are as violent enemies of black people from the dawn of recorded history. We found something similar in the text of Imafu Ipuwer. Obimbo Kamal Rashid alluded to this during his presentation. But let's look at what the primary sources are saying, because again, documentation over conversation. It says, desert dwellers have become like people everywhere. A, the face is pale. What the ancestors foretold has happened. A, the top of the land carries gangs or Confederates. A man goes to cultivation with his shield. A, the face is pale, the archer ready. Promise everywhere, there is no man of yesterday. A, the desert has the wood of the land, the gnomes are destroyed. Foreign archers have come into Kemet. You see it written here, the black nation, land of the blacks. They were captured in their midst like the Eurasians. None are found who would stand up to protect them against Eurasians. It says, what has come from it is to allow the Eurasians to know the state of the land. Indeed, all foreigners / desert dwellers fear it. The experience of the people is that they say, Kemet, the black nation, land of the blacks, will not be given to sand, which is ironic because indeed.
So he's saying, he's saying the black nation will not be given to sand, right? And then he mixes in the concepts of of being pale, and then he mixes in other African people. We're going to treat you the same as we treat them, right? So I don't know if this is the prophecy of Nefertiti. I don't. It looks like it, but I can't tell. So the other scholar that he talked about alluded to it, but Dr. Kambon he transliterated and translated it. So that's that. Let me see what else he did, and it's getting late for me tonight. So what he does is he goes through lots of texts. He goes through, this is Merikari, so he goes through several texts that he can use his internal and external views on. But I've already played it, so I don't have to really go over it. But he's using primaries to attach with his methodology of how the internal speakers of the Nile Valley, how they feel about what they must do versus
He will take the white crown, he will wear the red crown, he will unite.
Which is what and what they must do internally, and what they must do to the and their feelings about the externals, right? And so he does that. Here he mentions Sinahat, right? That text. And then over here it says, and to trample upon the sand-faring Bedouins. So they're saying that the Africans in this place had a very, very non-compromising, or should, with invaders, right? So this herd learned something that our current herd has not. Our current herd is spotted hyenas, right? The other herds, the ancient herds, are like black cattle, right? Let's see what else he says. Okay. A lot of people don't know. I don't know. Joe, where's Joey at? Where's Joey at?
My microphone great.
Okay. Well, he's in a whole nother country. So, for him to even be on with us and doing the work that he's trying to do where he is, I don't know if he's doing it with his people there, but he's certainly interacting. But of course, how can I say? Anybody with some basic Metanetic skills can read this. So it's of course it's Sarah, and this is Ka, right? Kamos. This is Kamos. So we don't have to play around. We don't have to play gotcha moments. There's Joey. Hey, Joey, you back? Hello?
Yeah, my audio was giving trouble just now.
All right. So what does this say, Joey?
Sarah. I see Ka. Met. Message. I know I read something wrong.
I know I read something wrong there, Reggie. It's Sarah. It's Ka.
I read something wrong there.
It's Ka, right? Ka. This is Ka, and this is Kamis with the bull tail. So we call Kamis Kamos. So this is of the intermediate period, right? Before we get into the directly when we're getting into the 18th dynasty, we have second Enrem, we have Kamos, and we have Amos, right? We have Ahotep, right? So in this case, here's Ka with the phallic of a strong bull, right? And so many people talk about Kamos all the time, but he doesn't know that Kamos had a strong bull name, Ka, right? Mos. This is Kamos. And this thing right here, Kamos is a bull. How do we know this? Because he has the tail, right? He is the bull. Kamos is a strong bull, right? He's more than a strong bull. He's how can I say with the Ka, that is a certain reality that they use in their afterlife. And he's strong.
So that's like saying a virile strong force.
Yeah, he's a virile, right? Because the Ka, people want to make it all. I gotta be careful. A saw and Ka's on. You can.
Just say spirit.
I'm not gonna say spirit. I'm gonna say that if you look at it from the lens of just nature, Ka is virility, right? Ba is personality. Now, if you put it in the, how can I say, I don't use the word spirit, so I'm looking for another word. In their religious views, right?
Culture.
Right? Particular, well, all of it is culture. So if you look at it in their kind of, I'll use the word spirit. I don't like the word spirit. But
let's say
I don't like it because
let's say metaphysical, Reggie. We could deal with that.
No, they weren't metaphysical. Well, I don't say they're metaphysical. I'm gonna say supernatural, right? Supernatural. Okay. In the natural, the Ka is just virility, right? And the Ba is personality. Your Ba is your personality, right? In now,
Reggie, it has a meaning too. Huh?
It has a what?
Non-physical meaning, not just the physical part.
Right. So I said
because they talk about it after you die.
So, well, yeah. So I said I try to say, if I look at it from the natural point of view, Ka just means virility, right? Strong, virility, erect penis, strong, Ka, right? And Ba, right, in the natural just means your personality, your Ba, your individual Ba, just your whole personality. Nobody can be an Asoran Ka. People can act like they are Asoran Ka, but the difference is Asoran Ka has this particular personality, right? He's definitely from Sugar Hill, right? He know all what was going through the early rap game. He knows the gangsters, right? He knows Big L. He knows all of that. He drove the trucks. He oversaw what he oversaw, right? He got a name in Sugar Hill, right? Y'all don't know, but I know, right? y'all just think he's a Kemetic or Asoran Ka, but Asoran Ka is strong. Then he became a Muslim, right? And he added force to who he is. Ain't nobody can be an Asoran Ka, right? He put out fires. I'm talking about he had to carry his soldiers, as they were dying in their last breath, and then bury them, right? Like as a Muslim, right? So nobody's gonna ever be a Asoran Ka. Asoran Ka, I'm gonna tell you something, man. I was doing a tour in the Met, and it was a big tour. There was a lot of people there. Brother Reggie doing the tour, and so they want to come out to try to debunk me, but we got to the walls, right? So the walls is the reading. So I'm walking up and down the aisle, and I'm looking for readers. Come read with me, right? And some of the people that y'all think y'all respect, they was there. They was youngins there, right? Right, I saw?
Yeah, they were.
They were youngins. This was like 7, 8 years ago, right? They not who they are, right? They youngins. And they over here, the best they can do is read him Netcher, right? They over there talking about, yeah, that's him Netcher. I couldn't use them. They were
African sweet and left the Asian sweet. Like
this is 7, 8 years ago, right? And then I go, and then all of a sudden, Asoran Ka pops up. He pops up on me, right? And he's heavy in the fight game. You know that, right? And so size. How can I say size don't matter, right? So he slips in the parlay, And then he wanted to see if I recognize him. And I'm like, oh man, you ain't tell me that he was coming. You gonna pop up on me like this? And I said, anyway, while you're here, help me read. And so the only reader that I had that day for that museum was Hassan Khan. Everybody else is looking at, oh, that's a Netcher. That's him. That's a Netcher. Oh, that must be him, Netcher. Oh, where's Hotel? They wasn't reading no text or saw. They couldn't read nothing. They was just looking at symbols and doing basic words. But I'm not going to put them on blast. I'm not going to tell you who their names are.
There's a video.
Huh?
There's a video out.
There's a video out there? Okay. Well, I ain't going to.
You know what? I got a video.
They want to
tell you.
Huh? Say what?
What was we corrected the stuff in the that day. After we finished, they made corrections in there. So I thought that was interesting.
And then after that, then we slipped away. I don't know if it's the same day or another day that came back, but we slipped away and we went to the Arabic section. And there's an Arabic section in the Met, and I'm only there's Morpheus, there is Brother La, and there is a Son Ka, and they don't play. They know the language, right? So we were looking at old texts of Islamic of Arabic. Some of it may have been before Islam, where they didn't get the diacritical marks together, right? So if you wasn't an expert, you couldn't read it. So Shaw could read it, La could read it, Morpheus could read it, right? It's like Old Kingdom Meta Nature, right? And then we go to this piece in a Moroccan period. I think it was in a Moroccan period, and it's kind of like a big stela. And so all of a sudden, he starts singing. He's not reading it; he's singing it, right? I'm like, what the? Like he got his hands. How do you do it? You put your hands on your ears and stuff like that. What do you do?
Oh yeah, cool.
Like you're doing an Adhan and all of that, right? This dude flipped on me from Kemet to straight Muslim. I mean, really, he just his muscle memories. He went back into years ago.
Ashhadu an la
This wasn't the Adhan, this was another text. And he's singing so beautifully this text, right? He's not reading it, he's singing it. And then all of a sudden, there was a sister, Arabic sister, and she was with her boyfriend. And she says, "You could read? You can, yeah." She says, "Let me see." So she had walked by it and she couldn't read it. So she started reading it and singing with a song cop, right? Bumpy, right?
Yeah.
Bumpy Chill, right? So Bumpy Chill is in there singing, and this woman stands like she becomes his wife, and they both start singing, and I was like, what the hell is going on here? Now her boyfriend, he couldn't, he how can I say, he's like, he's a wannabe Muslim, right? And he didn't understand how excited she was to find someone who was like, she was like, wow. But anyway, I saw did that in Kemet too, when Zahi Hawass, expert that you see always on TV, right? I call her in the museum, and she was having problems reading. She's great on TV, right? but they were in the where were you in the Cairo Museum? Where were you?
Yeah, we were in Cairo, the old kingdom site.
And so I saw she is listening to her, and she's faking it, and so Saw helps her read it, right, according to his account. But nevertheless, let's just end this real quick. So Dr. Obadele Kambon, for those people who can understand what he's saying, he used the term species. I would use the term herds, and he shows what happens if you don't unify, right? And here is the the lion getting out of here because he's gonna get they're not playing with him, right? And the lion is look at that lion. He looks scared like he
do.
scared. He got his tail up, the P, the powerful, right? The fatty, the fetty, the vizier, right? yo, they not gonna play with analysis of the fish and the shark, right? And then he goes to our people and it says, I know your kind. Here's the sheep. I know your kind have been slaughtering and eating my kind for thousands of years, but I don't hate you. You are my brother, right? We are both animals. I don't see species. And that's what Dr. Kambon is saying about Negroes. Sounds just as silly when Negroes say it, right? You don't hate me, but you've been slaughtering me. Get out of here. So, and then he goes to all the different periods of Africans fighting as if they should not fight for their freedom, right? In the Americas and in the Caribbean and Haiti. They don't want us to think that we should have fought for our freedom, that we should have kept for our place. So they hide these images. They don't talk about how they lost, how Napoleon's troops lost in Haiti. They don't talk about that. They don't talk about the South, right? Right? They want us to say that there was no real Southern revolutions. We didn't win, right? Right? That's what they want to think. And so, with that said, I'm gonna. And then he goes through different periods. Talks about Nana Marcus Garvey and others, right? And then he goes to comparisons with his country that he has repatriated to or patriated to, which is Ghana. And then he says, I'll read it to you and then I'll let him say it. No matter how long a log remains in the water, it never becomes a crocodile, right? You logs in America, you're never going to become a crocodile, and vice versa. No matter you invaders of Africa, you can remain in the water. I mean, you can remain in the land, but you're never really going to be indigenous African people. So let's see what he has to say, and then I think see if there's anybody that donated to me. Let me put my Cash App in. Yeah, there it goes. There's my Cash App. Let me put my PayPal in. Okay.
I'll be in Brooklyn here soon.
You gonna be in Brooklyn?
Down of course. Come to Harlem too. I gotta I don't want to say that.
Okay, don't say nothing. Call me. All right.
Yeah.
So Unc was in Brooklyn, but he was there for us family. His congratulations, his daughter had a graduation. So
Okay.
I haven't spoken to him since, but he was in New York. And if he was, if he would call me back late at night, I would took him to the Madison Square Garden, where it was either Madison Square Garden or Radio City Music Hall to watch the Knicks games. But anyway, he ain't called me back. So, what does our elder brother, scholar, great scholar, say? Okay, because he's gonna speak in Akan?
Well, that sometimes you have those who are phenotypically black, and they would align on the side of the land of black. Other times you have those who are phenotypically black, but they decide to align with the Amu, the non-black Eurasians. However, we talk about black population, not necessarily dealing with location. And what we say, Lubanti Yag Yag Chindoch, do Takmusopalikumuk Jafik. And then Akan, we have the same thing, do for Chiaga and Sumodada, in Dano Denchum. A piece of a log will never turn into a crocodile, no matter how long it remains in a river. And Baba Omoale came to the exact same thing without knowing Wolof or Akan. He says, just because a cat has kittens in an oven, you don't call the kittens biscuits. That were all black people regardless of location. And by the same token, the pale white Arab invaders, colonizers, and enslavers are still the same regardless of the fact that they're now in so-called North Africa. And this is the Amu League that, is a testament to the fact that they know who they are, regardless of their location. But for us, where is our Kemet League? So
Okay, so I think that that's a fitting end to the show. Let me just check. So right now I'm how can I say? So is your page monetized? So, Joey, how about you? Is your page monetized yet?
Nowhere close to being monetized yet.
Man, I'm a little closer, but I ain't close. So, what about you?
I got 30 subscribers on my page, boy.
Okay, you need to put up your you need to type in the chat where people can subscribe from, right?
Okay. Oh gosh.
What do you mean? Oh gosh.
I could put it in the private chat though. I don't know if I could do that.
You gonna put it in the private chat?
I don't know if I can put it in the regular chat. I'm not sure.
Put it, try. So, Asoran Ka, you can find him at Heckin Netcher, right? That's where you can find him, and subscribe, and and give him some watch time. Some late night when you ain't doing nothing, watch his videos. Give him some hours, right? And
there you go.
Okay, did it come up?
I'll put it in the chat just now so you can see it. If you click on it.
I don't see it yet. Oh, there it goes right here. So here it goes right here. And I'm going to put it.
Thank you very much, Reggie.
Why not, bro? You got some of my what concepts on your show. Why not? So those
you need to check out. You need to check out the last videos.
Where you was having some problems.
No, I did one about the select spin.
Oh, Dr. Mariotti's work.
Your brother, Dr. Mariotti's.
Yeah,
and then I actually read the source.
Okay. You're coming along. I'm like everybody else. I'm busy, right? I'm busy, and then so if you've seen, I've been doing a little bit more videos. I killed the Hebrews to death in the last 2 days. They were getting high at their early parts of formulating their religion on Yahweh. They was getting smoked out. So they were hallucinated, right? There's no comeback from that, right? That's just facts. When I talked about today, we weren't reading no Purdom Herald or no, anything spiritual. We weren't doing that. We were reading concepts of those Africans noticing their neighbors, right? So our writing is not all religious. It seems like the Hebrew stuff, what they want us to think is everything is about religion. No, everything is not about religion. You gotta bathe, you gotta eat, you gotta, so and everything's not about fighting for your God. But they ladies and gentlemen, go back to my videos. Direct evidence on their altar. They was putting cannabis with dung. Dung is doo-doo, right? Dung is doo-doo.
Yeah, for the smoke. For the smoke.
And then they had frankincense on the other side to cover up the doo-doo that they was inhaling with the cannabis. Man, all I can say is holy shit. Holy beans, right?
Yahweh pack, we call it, boy.
Smoking the Yahweh pack.
That's the new slogan for 2025.
The Yahweh pack. We need t-shirts and hats.
That's what we talking about.
Smoking the Yahweh pack. Right?
The most
high. The high priest. Right? What else we got? Right? Like everything is high. First high. Everything is high. Listen, it's actually a wrap for them at this point, at this moment. I'm talking about the converts. Huh?
Reggie, if you have any that you want to put up, you could just send it to me. I'll put it on our platform for you. If you have anything original that you want me to put up.
Oh, sure. Sure. I'm just spending a little time right now trying to put stuff on my site to get just to get some views. And let's just check. I don't see any social. Let me see. People are real mad at me, right? So I got to get my audience up. I'm doing great work, right? But some of you want to go and support regurgitation, and I'm showing you our scholars how the work that they have to put in. Sometime this weekend, I'm going to do, since I did Dr. Obadele Kambon's concept of Kemet, I'm also going to do look at Dr. Sandra Capocici's new article on Kemet, right, where he talks about the black ones, right? Mm-hmm. For those people who say that you can't call yourself black, well, Egyptologists themselves talk about Kemet as being the black ones, right? And then they say black land, but they don't want to deal with the black ones. And so from Harvard, Dr. Sandra Capocici, she showed the black ones. So any fool that's saying they didn't call themselves black, and Kemet doesn't mean black, you're gonna have to smoke your Yahweh pack to deal with a Harvard presentation, a Harvard paper, dealing with the black ones, right? So go to your Turkish, go wherever you go to get your Yahweh, import your Yahweh pack. Because you know what? At this point, we don't have to listen to you anymore. Like you smoked out, right? First we had to try to deal with, was it factual? Now we find out that you were smoked out. So, yeah. I'm
literally tripping.
Yeah, so here's my Cash App. It didn't look like I got any Cash Apps tonight. It didn't look there. It's my PayPal. And I know there's a war going on. And I know that some people rub me the wrong way. And I'm rubbing them back, right? I don't respect them. Right? I got no respect, right? When I started, I was just really just doing it for the people. I wasn't making any. I never made any money, but I was getting some Cash Apps, right? But you know, people, they're content finesses out here. They'll be nice to you for a while, as long as, right, you're delivering content. And the content, you're not making money on it. They're making money on it, right? And they're not your friends. They're not your friends. And I'm going to say this to everybody. unless you have a contract with a content provider, a content channel, when you give free content to them, it's their content. You're a hoe. If you're on a channel and you don't have a contract, right? You are a hoe for someone else. You're literally a hoe, meaning that if that person is not willing to give you the content that you produced, right? You're a hoe. Now, Ason Kai is my brother, right? And Joey is my good brother, friend, right? Um, uh, uh, Anything that Ason Kai needs or anything like that, it's free, right? I don't have a problem sharing anything with him. I'm not going to hold him hostage, right? I'm not going to do that. But there are these spaces where you are a hoe, right? So I'm gonna put it to myself. I just didn't see it coming, right? So I was a hoe, but I'm not the only hoe, right? I'm not the only hoe, right? But I learned my lesson. I learned my lesson, and when I learned my lesson, right, about confusing friendship with other people making money, which I was largely doing it for the people, but when it started getting nasty, right, and I don't do beefs online. I don't like to do that, but I'm just talking in general. If you are contributing information to someone else's channel, right, make sure that you can get access to your own content. Now, YouTube has this rule that even if I take content from another channel and put it on my channel, the content provider can strike even your own work. So this is a dirty, dirty game because guess what? I mean, some people make money off of other people's content. So the fact of the matter is, family, I can't put it any other way, right? Not doing it on my own channel, I was no different than a street hoe. No different than a street hoe, right? And that's just the game. So I can put it like that. So there you go. Am I saying anything wrong, Asar? Does it sound like I'm not talking?
I think you harsh on yourself.
Huh? Say what?
I think you're a little bit harsh on yourself.
I can't hear you.
I was saying I think you're a bit harsh on yourself. I guess I think it's because you're sharing Dr. Kambon's sound gives the echo back on us. But yeah, you did think you created for that channel and you gave us moments that we'll never get back. Especially with the doctor situation, the Dr. Jeff situation, and anybody else over to our brother's channel. I just I wish y'all could see things a little more.
Nah. So nah. So I mean, my elder, I'm gonna put up a show with my elder. Let me see if I can find it. I'm gonna put up a show because see the difference is other people can call me names, right, and say what they want to say about me, right, to minimize me, but it's only for them to make money, and it's only for them to make money, right? By knocking someone else, right? So let me see if I can find. I think it's ASCAC. I think it's in my ASCAC file. So, but I'm not paying attention to it, and I'm not even talking about any particular channel. I'm just saying that if you are contributing information, and you never really ask for any money or anything like that. Never really ask for any money, and money's being made, right? You're a hoe. And you know who told me that?
Who said that? Yeah.
Yeah, but I didn't use those words, but that's what he meant. Let me see ASCAC. Where is it? Large video files, and I don't see ASCAC. I don't see where it is. Oh, there it goes. So he laughed at me. He says, "Reggie, you've been on YouTube for 12 years or more, and you didn't." You know, Reggie, you had enough just to make a little $400-500 a month, not even asking the people on contributions, but you did what you wanted to do. Now you find out that you were wrong, and I'm like, yeah, found out that he was right, I was wrong. Shout out to Uncle Cat, who got us all on YouTube and got a lot of people monetized. Shout out to Uncle Cat, right? He didn't hide the secrets of YouTube and stuff like that. He didn't do that. He gave everybody early on how to get monetized. Association for the Study of Classical African Civilization. A true sign of Africa. So let me just move this over here, and I'm gonna show this clip because this is my family, conscious community, except for a few people that I talk about. They're not my family, but this is my family right here. I'm gonna show it to you right now. So let me see, stop sharing. Right, stop it. Okay, where is it? How can I share it? Okay, there it goes. So, okay. So entire screen. It goes here right here. Share my screen. So I'll play this. I'll play some clips right here. Right, but these people right here, this is my family right here. These are my brothers, parents, right? You see my elders here, Rosalind Jeffries and Leonard Jeffries, right? You see our elder Mariba Kelsey. You see Sister Latrella. You see Mariba Kelsey's daughter, Reba Kelsey, right? Larry Crow, Greg Carr, right? Dr. Bernie Goldman down here, right? Yvonne Jones. This is my family right here, right? Let me just see. Why is it not moving? Okay, let's see. Right? You see these beautiful people right here? These are the people that gave us Kemet, right? They took the words of Dr. Ben, Dr. Carruthers, Dr. Asa Hilliard, Dr. Diop, Dr. Obenga. These people right here, these are the people that carried it. And then there's groups of people who in fact turn it into money for themselves, but they're not experts at all in the area. They can't read nothing. They can't do anything, but they can make some money. So here's your greats: Leonard Jeffries, Dr. Clark, Chancellor Williams, John G. Jackson, Dr. Ben. This is Dr. Rosalind Jeffries presenting.
You got to make you got to make some of these pictures and sell them online.
They ain't gonna buy them because you know why they won't buy them. Okay, you know why they're not gonna buy them, right? So you know why they're not gonna buy them?
Why?
Because they're not in it, right? So they're not gonna support another man. Look at this right here. Look at this picture right here. How did I mess that up? Where's this picture right here? Come on. Where's this picture? Oh, there it goes right there. But can it stay there? It can't. It's not staying there. I don't know why. Let me try it again. Let me just play it and then stop it. There it goes right there. All right. Shoot. You can take it. Okay, let me just play some of it. Allows this African
to raise up actually the monument. It's so large, it's one of the largest in the world. And it was designed by Asians. Gave them the formulation.
Uh-oh, it froze up or it's not playing the sound. Sound was up, now it's gone. Oh, your sound is gone now too, Saber.
Myself. So let me just go find this one piece. There it goes right there. So if you're looking at it, here's Dr. Joseph Ben Jochanan, right? Right? Brother Hope did, right? I don't know if this is Brother Larry. This is Dr. Ben in front of Dr. Jacob Carruthers, right? You see him, right? Huh?
Yeah.
Dr. Next to Dr. Malala Karenga. This was ASCAC, right? These are the formations of ASCAC. And who's behind Malala Karenga with the greats?
Dr. Little Jeff, and you are in the background on the wall.
Right? This is Brother Mahalio. This is a real martial artist, right? A monster, right? Sensei Mo, right? And
is that Moses?
This is not Moses Powell. This is Sensei Mo.
Oh, I was about to say, I'm like, yo, he just slimmed down.
No, that's Mahalio. And over here, who's that right there?
Which way you go again?
In between Jacob Carruthers and Malala Karenga.
Oh, that's that one brother, Dr. Reggie.
Yeah, that's
Saber Reggie right there. That's our big brother.
Yeah. So
they made a comic book after him.
Yeah, and so this is one of the photos of the formation of ASCAC, right? So my family knows who I am, right? And all of these new creations and stuff, people want to argue with me in museums and stuff. They new to this. This is 36, 37 years ago, right? And I was a soldier scholar, African warrior scholar, right? And guess what? Those people, so my legacy is in my work. So Asan Ka, he knows, look, man, I'll talk you into going to Kemet. I'll show you how to go to Kemet. I'll tell you need to go to Kemet, and I'll give you a price to go to Kemet that you can't resist. Is that wrong?
Facts.
Right? So and then I'm not gonna hide. I tried to promote Asan Ka more than 8-9 years ago, right? Is that true?
That's true.
Right? But they didn't want Asan Ka, right? They wanted to eat all of the cake. Am I wrong, Asan?
That's true.
They did everything that they could, right? They did, because at that time it wasn't YouTube was just kind of started. So they wanted to be the big stars. But anybody that says anything about me, right? Want to make up something about me, show me you with the greats, right? I can show you more pictures with me and the greats, but show yourselves with the greats. So I always tried to be a bridge between these groups of elders, and two of them are gone, two of the greatest, right? But they knew my name. They trusted me. They loved me. They didn't love some of you hucksters, right? But So there you go. Let's see if I can find another picture that I want to talk. Oh, this is another picture of the other generation with Dr. Tony Martin, Marcus Garvey's son right here, Queen Mother Moore. But these are two of Garvey's sons. This is one of his sons, and this is the other son, and this is Tony Martin, and this is Dr. John Henry Clark, right? Let me show this. See if there's another picture. This is so that's Dr. Leonard Jeffries, and that was him in college. This is Rosalind Jeffries, Dr. Leonard Jeffries' wife. She had went to Africa before Dr. Leonard Jeffries, and here's Dr. Leonard Jeffries, right? And they're in I think the Gambia, right? So with Alex Haley's relative, but the truth is, Alex Haley's roots. These two people took Alex Haley to took him to the Gambia. Leonard Jeffries and Rosalind Jeffries, they created roots. Alex Haley's name, family name, has nothing to do with Kente, right? Dr. Leonard Jeffries created a project called the Kente Project, where he got funded from, and he hired Alex Haley, and then Alex Haley, the great writer that he is, manufactured the story.
Yeah.
And how do I know? Because I can show you the document, right? Where he didn't know, so it was the Jeffries. This is one of the greatest books on Dr. John Henry Clark, but I'll go through it later. I just want to click through. I just wanted to click through some of this. Let me just see. With Dr.
The rest of them have been doing their jobs. So
well, Dr. Jeffries, I mean, you're in the same camp with Dr. Obenga and the rest, like tireless. So we can't be tired. We keep going.
See, no, we could be tired, Dr. Beatty. We could be tired because of the hate, right? What's going on? Let's see. Let's just some point. Okay, so let's just click on. I'm looking for a particular photo, and I think I don't know where it is. I think it's coming up. Okay. 1 second. So those are great. There's Dr. Greg Carr. There's what happened here? Okay. Oh, give me a second. Okay, that's Rosalind. So when I play it, I'll show you. That's the great Dr. Rosalind Jeffries, our historian, her presentation. But somewhere down, you're gonna see Brother Reggie pop up, and that's what I was looking for. But I don't, because I know. At some point, but nevertheless, I'll go find it and I'll show this Dr. Leonard Jeffries presentation. So I think that's it for. I know it. What happened? Okay, so yeah, I have no idea where it is. But anyway, so I want to thank my two brothers for being with me tonight, and I want to thank the family.
Not being at least a conference.
We have Mariba Kelsey, there's Sister Latrella.
In terms of African culture, and to let them know, because you know that we do an ASCAC is absolutely in every part of that deep well that they can come to and drink out of at any given time. We will always be a sovereign, unapologetic resource for the restoration and reconstruction of you and our Hotep. May you all go in peace. And we will see you throughout the year, not next year, but throughout the year in our many regional conferences in the lead up in this grand convening on a national and international level.
So that's the work that we do. This conscious community, the conscious community, that's supposed to be the next generation. But the real issue is values, right? It's values. So people should fix their conduct and what they show about their personal lives, because it's not about your personal life, it's about the people, right? And so I'm gonna try to build this channel up. I got lots of content like this over the years, and so I'll be able to show it to you. So with that said, Asar, man, thanks for spending the evening with your brother Reggie, man. And Joey, thanks for spending the evening with me. And
thank you, Reggie.
Yeah,
That's right.
yeah.
Do I say but peace, send Joey. And shout out to the entire
Hey,
chat.
Asar, don't forget me, right?
That's right. That's right.
Don't forget me, Asar.
Solomonic TV in the building.
Right? Don't forget me, man. We're supposed to do
brother.
something together, so don't forget me.
I got you. I got you. Next week, right? Next week. And
All right, man. All
chapter
right.
coming forth by day. That's right. That we're going in. Won't get to
Well,
yeah,
as
Brother Reggie,
won't you do
they need to
something else
understand
like
the purpose of our new week.
why don't you do something like Hunefer or Merikari? What I mean, all of those books are great. Ani Anui, he's just a rich scribe, right? So what? I mean,
You want me to be honest, Reggie?
Yeah, be honest.
You want to be honest? It's what I have on hand. So I just said, let me just do it because that's what I have on hand. If I can find Hunefer, we could do that.
You can find Hunefer. Yeah, you can find Hunefer.
All right. I'll take your advice. I'm going to look for Hunefer, and I'm going to go through Hunefer.
There's the permanent rule of Nu. There's Hunefer.
Ket is my favorite. Him and Mahapri.
Yeah. So so there's lots of pertinent rules out there. So what happened here? Yeah. So yeah.
Okay.
So
I'm gonna look up one of those. I'll do one of those instead.
I tell you the other part about that as we end out. Because everybody says it's the book of Annie, but technically the chapters are not all Annie's. It is not Ket. It is so and so. It is
right.
Blah 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 blah.
Yeah, he borrowed it. They borrowed it. That's why it's called chapters. So they put in chapters from other. Well, originally they were coffin texts, so they came before. Yeah, they came from other material, and then it originally was the pyramid text. But anyway, listen, let's just keep pushing Africa and Kemet, and yeah, that would be a great thing, to keep pushing because there's other stuff that they're pushing. They were smoked out. They were on a Yahweh pack. So with that said, with that said, I'm gonna end this show.
All right, Reggie. Good night,
man. Good night. Oh wait, hold on.
I'm gonna look for the papers of Hunefer, right?
Hold up. Oh, Jalanja, how you doing? She's always gonna shout out her sister. Yep, that was Queen Mother Moore in those days. And Queen Mother Moore is somebody that I see all the time, right? Her and her helper, Sister Blakely. But I've seen her many years when she used to come to the Schaumburg and she, yeah. So and what she's how can I say she is so connected to the early reparations movement, but people have forgot that. People have forgot that. This is when I was in Ghana. I wasn't in this picture, but there's Malik Small, James Small's son. There's Dr. Jeffrey's nephew, Hassan, who's now a PhD. Both of these are PhDs now. Hassan and Malik are PhDs. This is Dr. Clark's son, Sonny Clark. Right? Sonny Clark, and this is Dr. John Clark. When we went to Ghana in 1986. It's where is somewhere there was a picture. Oh, maybe they didn't show it. Okay, yeah. I when I play this, you'll see. Where is it? It's right there. I don't know if they skipped over it, but anyway. So yeah. So this is my family, and some of you are my family, and some of you are just who you are, right? Or who you think you are, right? So there you go. So peace, family. Love Milf. How you doing, sister? Love Negro. How you doing? I'm sorry. How are you doing? Good to see you on my channel. So y'all can rewind back. I think I had a pretty good show. And so you can watch it on some of the other times. And then at some point I'll play Dr. Leonard Jeffries' presentation. So with that said,